Rockstars, Eric Andreas, your guitar sage here, and today we're looking at the top 7 Def Leppard licks. Top as determined by me. Yeah, no, we got a lot of hits in here, friends. I'm gonna show you the bits and pieces, show you where on the neck to play them, and then I've got tab for you, so let's check this out. Hysteria. Let's take a look at this really cool tune. I remember this when it came out. Oh, I was in college and I remember this song very well. Here we go. Let's take a look at this. First off, we've got a nice clean tone. I'm using a Strat. I've got a little bit of verb. I have some compression and I have some chorus going on there. Those are all the things that we're hearing swimming around in there. And so this particular lick takes advantage of this open G. So we're using that a lot. Then we use it for this chord. And we use it for this chord. And back. So we're using that a lot, okay? Very simple. Don't overcomplicate this. Here's how it's gonna go. You're gonna follow the tabs here, but your first chord for the actual tabs, you'll see that in just a moment here. This is the first bit. You're gonna go back and forth between these two. Okay, chord 1. Second chord, don't move your hand, just put your first finger down. And you're gonna scroll through it twice. Easy enough. Then you're going to move down 1 fret and you're going to play this twice. I lied, you're going to play it 1 time and then you're going to come back to this one. So you're going to play those last 2 chords 2 times. And then you're going to play the main riff again. So again, it starts with that main riff. Twice, this chord 1 time, or twice. The last 2 chords we play once per. Here's a tab. Pour some sugar on me. Okay, well, for those of you that love this song, I'm not gonna knock it. It's a fun lick in the beginning, but this is where Def Leppard gets a little candy ass. It's even in the title, Pour Some Sugar on Me. Sorry, my opinion. Okay, so here we go. This is in the key of C sharp or D flat, right? And we got this basic lick that works around, noodles around a power chord. The 1, the 5, the octave. Yeah, so here we go. Goes something like this. I'm gonna play this nice and slow. You'll have the tab. Okay, so essentially what we're doing is we're doing lots of muting. We've got a pull off. First finger's right here, but you're doing this. Gonna go a little bit slower here. So you can hit that 1 low note and you're gonna do this pull off. And then you're muting the strings, you're hitting them, those in between the X's that you're gonna see in the tab. You're gonna hit the strings like that. If you're not used to doing those sort of in-between mutes, it will take some time. It's just a rock and roll kind of heavy metal thing that folks do to keep that sense of urgency going throughout the lick. So here's a tab. Let's take a look at Love Bites. This is a really cool bit here. I'm going to show you the first chord here is basically a D minor 7. So if you know a D minor, you're going to lift that pinky up. We'll get to the actual picking part in a minute. I always like to assess this stuff ahead of time. What chords are we dealing with? Take inventory, if you will, right? So we got the D minor 7 to start. We have a G minor 7, which again is a G minor, but lift your pinky. And then we've got a C, basically we've got a C suspended chord, a 7th suspended chord, and essentially what we're looking at there is that's the 11 on top. So we could say it's an 11th chord. Okay, so again, if you were holding your bar chord, your C bar chord, what you're going to do is you're going to lift that finger up to bring about the minor 7, and then the pinky's going to be up here, which is your 11 or your suspension, also known as a 4, and together. And then the last chord is basically an F power chord at a 9. So that open G right there. Okay, so let's break it down. So again, we got a D minor 7. You're going to have the tabs for all this in just a second. So I'm just going to show you the picking part. So essentially, we're going to go. So you're going to pick the first two. The last two notes you'll hit together. You're going to do the same thing for the G minor 7. So you pick the first two. The two middle strings you'll hit together. For the C, we'll call it a C11, if you will. What we're going to do is we're going to go. So you're going to hit that 5th twice, okay? And then those two notes together. And then the last chord, what we're calling our F add 9, if you will, or an F power chord, add a 9 to it. It's going to go like this. So you need to make sure that when you're playing this, you're up on your fingertips enough. You've got that thumb behind the back of the neck. If it's up here, you're not going to be able to grab that open G string, okay? Just like that. If you have issues with that, you probably need some fretting help. Check out the free course I've got for you. First link below, YourGuitarSage.com/30. That is the basic lick there, my friends. Here's the tab. Let's take a look at Photograph. Now, the way that I just played it is not the way that I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you an easier way. Number one, because we would have to tune down a half step. So I'm going to show you another way to play this. That's a little bit more like the way the band plays it. And I say a little bit more is because there's two guitar parts playing after the first initial run through of the lick, okay? But we can do something very similar up here. Easier to play, it's going to match the tabs for you, and it's going to sound just the same. So check this out. It's going to go. Now, this is still a half step high, so the only thing that we have to do is drop it down a half step, but for right now, I'm going to show it to you this way because we're in standard tuning, and we can just always move it down. The fret dots here are going to help you a little bit more if we do it in standard like this, okay? All right, so we're just on the two middle strings here, 9th fret, okay? This top string here is going to come down to the 8th fret, so like this, okay? For the second part here, essentially what you're doing is you're playing a power chord. It's an A power chord. That's what you're playing. And you're resolving this third finger to the bar, to the first finger. So we got, so again. Now, in order for that to match, what we need to do, at least in order for it to match with the track, with the actual key, we're gonna bump it down a half step, okay? That's all we're gonna do, bump it down a half step. So instead of, we're gonna go down a half step. And most likely they were tuned down a half step when they did this track. Here's the tab. Foolin'. This is literally the song that made me play guitar. Swear to you, back in the day, I remember seeing this video, and this was the song that made me go, I have to play guitar for a living, because that is amazing, okay? So here we go. Now, many arguments over how this is played. In fact, I just watched a video of Phil Collin playing it a different way than I saw them playing it in the video, and different ways that I've seen them play it live. So all that to say, and different than a little bit, slightly different than what the tab is. So I'm gonna show you what that little change is. So I've toiled with this one over the years and really listened to it. There's some droning notes in there which can make it sound complex. And in some ways, it's not, playing wise, it's not complex, but actually finding the right notes is. I think I have exactly what they've played. So here we go. We're basing this off of an A minor chord, an A minor 9, I should say A minor with the 9 in there instead of this guy right there, which is the 3, the minor 3rd. So we're putting the 2 in there, which is essentially the 9, and add 9. Okay, so you're gonna go like this. It's gonna go. That's the first part. Really easy. You just have the 2nd and 3rd finger right there and the 2 middle strings on the 2nd fret, and you're picking from the 5th string down. This is how I think about it, okay? And now what I do is I set my hand up like this. So I'm putting my 3rd finger and pinky here. So the tab will say, that this note's open, but I don't want you to do that. I want you to play the 3rd finger and the 4th finger here on the 3rd and 4th fret of the 4th and 3rd strings, okay? And so what you're gonna do is pick down. So that's 0, 1. And then to resolve it, that's 0 on the 1st string and then 1, 0 on the 2nd string. So nice and slow, it's gonna go like this. Right, that's the first part, and then the 3rd part. Now, it's gonna repeat again in a slight different variation. This is all the same. All the same. The difference is instead of 1, 0, we go 0, 1. And I hammer that, but you could pick it. So the whole thing complete, it's like this. Make sense? Here's the tab. Late for Love, possibly my favorite Def Leppard song of all times. This and another one I'm going to show you here in just a minute. Super cool, in the key of E minor. It's all over E minor. Let's take a look at it. So the first thing you're going to do is hit that low E string. We're back in standard tuning. Okay. And so what we're going to do for this first part, you're going to be in the second position, which means your first finger's behind the second fret. And you're going to pick that second fret on the fifth string, and you're going to hammer onto 3, and then play the second fret of the fourth string like this. That's the first part. And then you're going to slide up to the third position. You're going to go, which is kind of the same motif. Then we got a little variation right here. So again, first part, second part. So you pick the note, you hammer. Right. Third part, which is a variation. You can bar that or use your pinky. Probably easier if you use your pinky. And then the last part to resolve it. And you don't want those to bleed. They can bleed at first, but don't let the last note bleed into it. So like, you don't want to do that. You want to lift off those last notes, those last strings here, and let the low E sound out. The way I'm doing that is just lifting my fingers up off the strings. Here's a tap. Rock of Ages. This is a fun one. Here we go. Lots of power chords. So we're going to be starting off with an E power chord. This is the 2 middle strings. If you don't know what power chords are, here on YouTube, search YourGuitarSage power chords. Essentially, it's the 1 of the chord, which is the root, and the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You play those 2 notes together, get a power chord. So here we go. We're going from the E to the D. We're choking this notes in between there. We're not doing this. Right? We're choking them. We're going. Same thing here. Yeah, we're killing that guy. So just remember, whenever we have those pauses, you have to mute the strings. If you need help here on YouTube, search YourGuitarSage muting. Okay, so for the first 2 chords, we got an E and a D, then a B to an A, and then back to the D and E. And then they threw this cool little lick in there that goes, easy enough, super fun, very rock and roll. It goes like this. You're gonna put your second finger on the second fret here, and you're gonna slide up to the 4th fret. You're gonna hit this 5th fret of the 2nd string, and then just slide that down a whole step. Nice and slow like this. So a whole lick, nice and slow. Here's a tab. Rock stars, that is it. Hopefully you dug this video. If you did, you know what to do. Please give me a thumbs up and also subscribe if you would like more of these videos in your YouTube inbox. So I would love to help you out. I'm very passionate about teaching people how to play guitar. In fact, I have a free course for you. We've had over 500,000 people go through these videos already. The very first link below is my gift to you. YourGuitarSage.com/30 is the top 30 videos that you're ever going to watch on guitar. It is decades proven. Check it out. Very first link below. Also, if you dug the tones that I'm using in here, you could check the pedal out on my store, the Dueling Ninja pedal. You can pull up all these tones with that great pedal. You'll see that in my shop at YourGuitarSage.com. Friends, I'm here to help you. Please let me know how I can do that. You can also text me as well as leaving your comments at 833-744-0154. If you'd like that course, that same course that I just mentioned to you, just type in free to that text that number, type in free, and we will set you up with that course. If you're already a UGS member, just type in UGS and I can update you on anything else that we're doing. You're gonna really appreciate it. Friends, as always, be kind to all beings, do the right thing always, practice your guitar. I'll see you in the next video. When I first got this album, my mom saw Rock of Ages, which is an old spiritual hymn, actually, and she thought that I had a Christian album there, and I didn't. It was Def Leppard. Didn't really need to say that. Maybe we'll cut that out. I'll do a different intro.